He stared at her with the cold arrogance of a man who thought his badge made him untouchable. But when she calmly rose to speak, the entire courtroom fell silent, because behind her quiet smile was a truth he never saw coming, one that would strip him of his power in an instant. He stood tall in his dark blue uniform, chest puffed, hand resting casually on his belt. The gleam of his badge caught the courtroom lights as if it were a shield, a symbol he believed placed him above the very people he swore to serve. To him, this was just another day of control, another reminder that he carried authority wherever he walked. But across from him, a woman stood. She was calm, steady, almost serene. She carried no badge, no weapon, no uniform, only a quiet presence that seemed to unsettle him more than any show of force could. The spectators in the room shifted uncomfortably, unsure of what they were about to witness. They could sense it. Something larger than law, larger than rules, was about to unfold. Her name was known to only a few, but her story was carved deep into her very being. Years of service had shaped her, years of marching through deserts where the air tasted of dust and fire, years of watching friends fall beside her, holding their hands until the last breath left their bodies. The sound of helicopters, the sting of gunpowder, the ache of carrying burdens no one back home could ever fully understand. These memories lived with her even now, even in this courtroom. Yet she never boasted, she never demanded respect. She carried her scars in silence, letting her dignity speak louder than any uniform ever could. Today, however, silence was being tested. The officer's smirk, his sideways glances, the way he stood over her as if she were a criminal instead of a citizen. It all pressed against the unspoken code of honor she had lived by. The room watched as he folded his arms, as if daring her to protest. And she did not flinch. She simply breathed. Behind her calm eyes lay the weight of sacrifice. The nights she had gone without sleep, guarding her unit, the folded flag she had accepted on behalf of a fallen friend, pressing it to her chest as if it were his heartbeat. The long flights home where no one clapped, no one stood. No one even knew what she carried inside. The courtroom held its breath as the officer stepped forward, as if to remind her of her place. But then, she spoke. Just 7 words, spoken so gently they cut deeper than any shout could. "Check my military rank first, please." The silence that followed was crushing. The officer froze, his confidence faltering. The judge's head lifted, the gallery leaned forward. For a moment, time itself seemed to stop. And then the truth unfolded. Her record was read aloud. Medals, commendations, missions carried out under fire. The kind of service that turned men into legends. The kind of service that stripped arrogance from those who thought authority was just a badge and not a sacrifice. The officer's smirk faded into pale disbelief. His badge, once a symbol of power, now looked small compared to the weight of her service. The very room he had sought to dominate now belonged to her, not because she demanded it, but because she had earned it long before this day. A hush swept through the crowd. And then, slowly, one by one, people began to rise from their seats. No words were spoken, but the act was louder than any verdict. They stood in respect, not for a title, not for a uniform, but for the silent strength of a woman who had given more than most could imagine. He lowered his head. His untouchable badge had met something far greater, unshakable honor, and in that stillness, 3 lines remained etched in every heart that bore witness. True power is not in a badge. True respect is never demanded, is earned, and silent honor will always speak louder than arrogance. As she left the courtroom, the officer's shadow seemed smaller, almost swallowed by the light of her presence, and the crowd, still standing, knew they had witnessed something rare. Justice not through punishment, but through the quiet revelation of truth, because sometimes the greatest victories are not won with noise, but with dignity too powerful to be denied. And that day, the wrong woman to bring to court became the one person who reminded everyone in that room what respect truly means. So let me ask you this. In a world where respect is so often mistaken for authority, who do you believe carries the greater strength, the one with the badge, or the one with silent honor? Share your thoughts below. Let us know where you're watching from. And if stories like this move you, subscribe for more journeys that honor the silent heroes among us.